What's going on, friends and family? This is Slim, the voice of League of Lions Wrestling, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the Lion's Den. Tonight, I have a special guest. He is our newly crowned League of Lions Lionheart Champion, Mr. Ethan, don't call me Daniels, Daniel. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Doing, Slim? Thank you. Finally, after 3 long years, for getting my name right. And I know it's not your fault. That's how it was written down on the card and how they did my intro video for some reason. And as most of y'all know by now, I've already handled the reason for why they had the S on my last name. Mr. Zach, not important enough to remember his last name. So it is what it is. He got handled, and as you can see, I am the new Lionheart Champion after 3 long years.
3 years here at League of Lions. That's kind of taking a step back. Like you said, 3 years here at League of Lions. Tell us about starting out in the wrestling business and trainers and all that good stuff. Kind of catch us up.
Well, I've been doing this for 9.5 years now. I trained with some of the, in my opinion, some of the best guys in the Texas independent wrestling scene. A few different ones. My main trainer though was his name was Zach Schaefer, also known as Just Willie. Great guy. Had a tremendous amount of love and respect for him. He taught me all the basics and helped my ring awareness and my knowledge of the business as a whole. And if it wasn't for him, I never would have gotten anything like the way in this business. So I owe a lot of props to him. Excuse me.
And where was this at? Where?
Down in Little River Academy, Texas. Just out on the outside of Temple. It wasn't a big, it wasn't a big name school. It was. He was a guy who saw a bunch of young kids who wanted to get into it and said, "Hey, let me teach you some stuff." I've also got knowledge from the likes of Sir Mo from the old school WWF days. I've got knowledge from guys like Barrett Brown, Keith Lee, Tommy Inn, or as he's known now, Malachi Black. Ricky Starks is another one that just all these guys that are in big name, big companies now that have taken me under and said, "Hey, here's some knowledge. Here, we're going to help you out, kid." And honestly, without a lot of those guys, I would not be the performer or the man that I am today outside of the business.
That's one thing I will say about the wrestling world. It's a tight-knit brotherhood, and a lot of times in the behind the curtain area, those that want to learn, they will invest that knowledge. They will take you, like you said, under the wing, and they'll take the time to show you what's going on. And it's really awesome to see the ones who are cocky little punks and get shaded, and shunned away. And then you got the young guys who just want to get into the business and want to learn and want to love on it. They accept them in. I've shared plenty of times on here about my son being in the business, and y'all actually had a few matches down in the Austin area, HOT, different thing, and it's awesome to see just the camaraderie. You want to put on the best show that you have,
always,
and the ones that have that mentality, everybody in the back will help you make that happen. You just got to have that desire.
And I will say it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns when I first started. I had to learn the hard way. Shut up and listen. I've always been really headstrong and very independent. You can ask my parents. When I was a kid, I was hell. I've always wanted to do things my own way because it was comfortable for me. And I had to learn that in this business, that's not the way it is. Sometimes you have to take it on the chin. You have to shut up and do it the way you're told to progress forward, to be able to learn the knowledge you need to get somewhere. And it was a learning curve. And I'll be honest, it took me a little longer than it should have. But once I got to my 3-year mark, I definitely had that lesson learned where shut up, listen, ask the questions.
So we're into it. You're in the bag, you're being invested in. How long before you have your first show?
I was training full on for almost 2 years before I had my first big time singles match. I was thrown in like battle royals and scrambles here and there when they needed an extra body, somebody who could take a bump.
Needed somebody
they needed somebody that looked good enough to get the job done, but could also take a hit and not outshine anybody else. And I was that for a long time. I had my first singles match against Bryson Scott, actually.
Okay.
He was my first one-on-one singles match. And he beat the hell out of me. Props to Bryson, another guy I learned a lot of stuff from. He gets a lot of bad blood every now and then, but deep down, he's a good guy.
Right. So we're in the ring, we're learning our craft. Of course, when I met you were a member of the tag team.
Yes, sir.
How long were y'all together when you came to the Legal Eyes locker room?
We have officially been here now 3 years.
Right.
We're no longer a team though, as a lot of people know. Before that, I had my first match at my first singles match at around about 2 years training, and it was like only a few months after that me and Devin Wilson and Prince Sims decided, hey, we get along great, and I've known Prince outside of wrestling since we were in high school.
Right.
Devin, not as long, but pretty much. And we vibed well together in and out of the ring, and we said, hey, let's try this. And at first, nobody wanted us together, but it was one of those, we know we had something good, and we pushed it. And we shoved it down everybody's throats until they could not deny us.
And collected some gold along.
And us collectively are 5-time world tag team champions, and not only in Texas, but we've also traveled around. We've won titles with the AIWF Federation, which travels all over the U.S. We were supposed to go to a few other places around the world, but the world shut down with COVID in 2020. We all hate talking about that.
I love it.
Yeah, and so that put a great bit stop in it. Me and Devin won our first tag titles, just me and him without Prince here. And that was early 2021. Yeah, because it was going into 22, and we lost that first show because we split the team December of 2022. So yeah, we had a little over a year.
So tell me about Skip. When did Skip join the fray, and what's he up to these days?
Skip started off as a fan. And me and him headed off because we were both in security. We both loved wrestling, and me and him became friends. And then he started talking about ideas and stuff, and he has a good brain for the business. And so eventually we brought him on as squad manager after he had done some announcing and some other stuff at some other promotions. And we brought him in as our manager. And when we first got to Legal Eyes, Skip was here with us. So we all know him very well. He helped us along the way. And when we first lost the tag belts when we were still a team, it was his knowledge that pushed us to eventually turn on the fans. I don't know if anybody remembers the clip. We attacked the Storm Chasers after they defended who we lost the belts to. We haven't talked much lately since he's taken his step back from wrestling. I know he's doing some announcing for like some local high schools and stuff like that for football games, and he's getting into like the minor league hockey, not little league, like I don't know what they call it. I don't know hockey much, but like the minor league hockey scene.
Semi-pro, is that?
Yeah, I guess.
Looking for.
And he's doing like arena announcing like that for sporting games and stuff. I see on Facebook somewhere that he's wanting to get back into announcing wrestling, so we might see him here again. I don't know. We might see him come back as Devin's manager. I don't know, since Devin's doing his thing now on the face side of the business. But I just, like I said, we don't talk a lot much, just life. But I wish nothing but good things for him, and hope he's doing well.
So most recently, we start the night just pretty much you calling out Zach and trying to clear the air of the name situation. Very rapidly, it turns into a 5-way for the Lionheart Championship. And you prevail, brother.
Thank you.
Nice times, great action. What's next, bro?
Next is to show that I deserve this, that I'm not just a mouth, that I don't just talk a lot while I'm out there. Now is my time to show that I deserve this. I deserve to be in that top spot. And I've been here before, and I took advantage of it. I let it go to my head. I'm older now. I'm not that same dumb kid I was 5 years ago. Now I take this and I do my best to make it the most relevant title in this company, and see if I can't grab that next brass ring along the way.
And the next brass ring, right now we're looking at the black-hearted outlaw, Mr. Aaron Idell.
Debo, as the boys in the locker room call it. Yes, sir. I've had a few bouts with him in his old tag partner, Michael. We've both come out on we've all come out on both sides of that, up and down. So that definitely be one to look forward to.
It definitely be nice. Definitely be nice down the way. Anything else we need to share with the guys before we wrap this up?
All I have to say to the rest of the locker room, back to the business side of this belt ain't going nowhere anytime soon, boys. Get used to this face. Get used to hearing my annoying voice. I'm not going anywhere. Learn to love me.
Thank you so much for joining me, brother. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Lion's Den. Remember, every third Saturday of the month, we took over D-Rock's Gym, 315 Polk Street in Marshall, Texas. League of Lions Wrestling. Our initials might be LOL, but we ain't no joke.
No, sir.
Good night, everybody.